center of a major controversy. This is in a setback to the temple's trust that the Karnataka High Court has now refused to halt the state government's decision to take over the control of the temple's administration amidst serious allegations of financial mismanagement and theft that's also making the right kind of noise and buzz on social media. The matter came up before a single judge bench headed by Justice Sunil Dutt Yadav, and after the Temple Trust had challenged the takeover by the government and the state in court. Now, appearing for the trust, Advocate P. Prasanna Kumar argued that the government acted in haste and without a thorough investigation in place. He maintained that the trust had already submitted all the necessary documents and accused the state of acting on incomplete information. However, the state government presented a strong rebuttal themselves. Its counsel accused that the trust failed to provide proper financial records and claimed that the trust had shown all income as expenditure over the past 19 years. Now, the case against the trust was further strengthened by reports of a donation box theft inside the temple. 2 staffers were earlier dismissed and an FIR was registered. However, even a year later, no charge sheet has been filed. And citing this delay in probe and other financial irregularities and mismanagement amidst other concerns, the Assistant Commissioner submitted a detailed inquiry report highlighting lack of coordination amongst the trustees and misappropriation of the donations to the Murzai department. And based on this report, the Murzai department officially took control of the temple, saying the delay investigation and the financial irregularities have justified this particular intervention. And now the Karnataka High Court declining the state's halt and the government takeover of the Gali Anjaneya temple. My colleague Mohammad Wajiullah joins us live on the broadcast here. Waji, seems to be a little bit of a legal setback for the temple's trust and its members. The state government takeover is going to continue to go on. But now the temple trust members are saying that the government is acting in haste. There's no proper inquiry that was carried out. On the other hand, the government saying that, look, we asked you a couple of times about your financial details to be furnished. You did not do that. And there is quite clearly a delay in the lackadaisical attitude of this interrogation. So who's really on the right side of the Libra scales here, and how big of a controversy is this really right now?
Well, Kabir, who is on the right is something that is very tricky to decide right now, because the court is the one who's taking the decision, and as we speak, the court has decided to put us not to grant any stay to the Anjaneya temple, because we've seen how there has been in the last 1 week, we've seen various meetings done by the body Gali Anjaneya temple authorities, and we'd also seen how the government also had put a ban on the Murzai, but they had taken over by the Murzai department, because they felt that there had been a lot of financial discrepancies. A few months back, there was also a theft from the hundi of the temple, and that is why the government decided to take over the temple under their department. And now we've seen last week also BJP leaders Ashwath Narayan sit with the temple authorities and have a discussion with regards to how they would counter this. A court case was decided, but now with the Karnataka High Court not granting them a stay and allowing the government to continue to go ahead with the takeover is something which gives us an indication that the court also somewhere finds a fault in the claims of the Gali Anjaneya temple, because the government had asked them to furnish all the bonds, all the details of the financial transactions, but they had failed to do so, is what the Attorney General said in court, while the lawyer of the Gali Anjaneya temple, Swami temple, had clearly maintained that they had provided all the documents. But the court today seeing that the government's side is more stronger, and that is why today's stay has been taken away, and now the temple will continue to go ahead under the Murzai department.
And you know, Vaji, many thanks for helping us understand what really happened in the courtroom. But to better understand what really changes now with the Muzrai department now taking over the Gali Anjanaya temple, help us understand the significance of this temple, how many people, then devotees, throng this temple on an everyday basis. And it seems like, in terms of the arguments that were presented in court, the government has quite a sound case, because they say over the last 19 years, all of the temple's income has been declared as expenditure, and there is no proof to say so. Also, the government says that the people and the devotees are welcoming this takeover by the Muzrai department. So, what changes with the Muzrai department, and is it really true, the sentiment on the ground, people are welcoming this move, takeover by the Muzrai department?
Well, when a temple comes under the Muzrai department, it's the department that now starts handling the day-to-day affairs of the temple. Nothing really changes for the public, but when it comes to the administration part of it, that is where you will see a lot of changes, because when it comes to the public, there will not be any stop for public to attending, nor will there be any time cap, because it's a temple and it will be allowed 24/7 or whatever timing that it has. But when you look into the administrative part of it, that is where the government will start interfering, because in the other temples that are under the Muzrai department, fund is being collected by the government from those temples. The donations and everything goes to the government. And now, because Gali Anjaneya temple is also a very famous temple, and lakhs of people throng it on a monthly basis, and the collection over there also is high. And now with the government pointing out friction or pointing out problems in the financial and finding out financial discrepancies in their audit, this clearly gives them a hold in taking it over under the Muzrai department, because it then indicates that there is some sort of corruption happening inside the Gali Anjaneya temple. The donation money that has been collected somewhere or the other may be misused by the authority that is running the temple. So what happens now is the government will have its own independent body that will look into the entire day-to-day affairs of the temple. So that is what we'll see, the kind of change that the Gali Anjaneya temple will see. But when it comes to prayers and pujas, that will continue like the way it is.
All right. There's a lot of politics that's taking shape over here as well. Vaji, do stay on with us. I'm being told we've got a reaction that's coming on this particular story. Ramalinga Reddy on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, next.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ದುರುಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ BJP ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು 10 ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಣ ದುರುಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ನೋಡಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ದುರುಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ BJP ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು 10 ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಣ ದುರುಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ನೋಡಿದೆ.
Vajiola bringing us the latest details. Many thanks, Vaji. We're going to keep coming back to you as and when you have more for us on this particular story. The Gali Anjaneya temple row and that controversy is certainly widening in the state of Karnataka. All right, shifting our focus here to the state of Tamil Nadu next, where the state chief minister M.K. Stalin has once again called on the centre to take immediate steps to retrieve the Katchatheevu island from Sri Lanka, saying it's the only permanent solution to end the arrest and harassment of Indian fishermen, specifically Tamil Nadu fishermen. Speaking at Mayiladuthurai, M.K. Stalin said that the DMK government was taking all necessary steps and had repeatedly urged the Prime Minister to act on this very matter. He reminded that the Tamil Nadu Assembly has also passed a resolution demanding the retrieval of the Katchatheevu island and reiterated his demand for the release of Indian fishermen languishing in Sri Lankan jails. The Chief Minister also slammed the BJP-led union government, accusing it of politicizing the Katchatheevu issue without taking any concrete action on it over the last 10 years. M.K. Stalin said that Sri Lanka has made it clear that it will not part with Katchatheevu, but India's External Affairs Minister has not issued a rebuttal, raising concerns about the centre's silence on Tamil Nadu's repeated appeals. Citing history, M.K. Stalin pointed out that the Indo-Sri Lankan Agreement of 1974, through which Katchatheevu Island was ceded to Sri Lanka, was signed without the consent of Tamil Nadu and has been opposed by successive state governments starting from the time of former Chief Minister Karunanidhi. He also shared that between 2024 and the first 3 months of 2025, over 670 Indian fishermen have been arrested by Sri Lankan authorities. A stark reminder of the urgency of resolving this maritime conflict. Calling for the Prime Minister's personal intervention, M.K. Stalin assured that Tamil Nadu government would fully support any move to secure the rights and livelihoods of India's coastal fishing communities.
Our government is taking all necessary steps towards the retrieval of Katchatheevu. Whenever I meet the Prime Minister, I reiterate the need to retrieve Katchatheevu to bring a permanent solution to the fishermen's issue. We have passed a resolution in the Assembly for the same. We are constantly urging the Union government to ensure the release of our fishermen who are suffering in Sri Lankan prisons along with their boats. The Union government, which doesn't bother about Tamil Nadu and our fishermen, is only politicizing this issue. Treaties with foreign countries usually come under the ambit of the Union government. What has the BJP government at the centre done in the last 10 years to retrieve Katchatheevu? Have they at least stopped the arrest of Tamil Nadu fishermen by Sri Lankan authorities? No. Recently, Sri Lankan External Affairs Minister has stated that Tamil Nadu fishermen are trespassing into their waters. He has said that Sri Lanka will not give away their rights over Katchatheevu. Our External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has not so far given a rebuttal to this. We request that the Prime Minister directly intervene and bring a solution to this issue. Our state government and DMK will continue their right. Our state government and DMK will continue their fight for this.
And my colleague Thoya Jakshi joins us on the broadcast here with the latest. Thoya Jakshi, first and foremost, M.K. Stalin saying that all the other opposition parties are trying to politicize the Katchatheevu Island row. He himself is trying to do the same. Let's not forget elections right around the corner when it comes to the Tamil Nadu State Assembly. But let's keep that aside for just a second. Help the viewers understand the importance of the Katchatheevu Island for the fishing community particularly, and whether this will be one of the political poll issues in the upcoming Tamil Nadu Assembly elections.
Well, yes, Kabir, Katchatheevu Island issue has been there for decades now, I can tell you, because usually this Katchatheevu issue picks up during the elections mostly because if we remember in 2024 during MP elections also this Katchatheevu issue was picked up and it was it created a huge controversy in country and in the for state of Tamil Nadu as well. Where at that point of time, Chief Minister and also few Congress leaders who also stated that the central government that BJP government which is not interested in looking what is good for Tamil people, and their Tamil BJP is not good with Tamil Nadu. So these kind of statements which were made during 2024 MP elections. Now that the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin stated that the Katchatheevu issue is very important for the people of Tamil Nadu, especially for the fishermen community in Thoothukudi and in Rameshwaram, where he stated that many fishermen from Tamil Nadu are often arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy while fishing near Katchatheevu. Because let me tell you what is important, why all the fishermen goes for fishing near Katchatheevu, Kabir. Because see, this Katchatheevu island is located in a place where most of the hybrid fishes, hybrid seafood, which is being, which is actually in that place. So that is the main reason most of the fishermen try to cross the border and go and do fishing, and that is the main reason. If at all the Sri Lankan Navy sees them, then and there they are arresting. So that is why a lot of fishermen till today have been are in Sri Lankan prison. But today, Stalin also says that to stop this, he is asking the central government to take back Katchatheevu permanently from Sri Lanka.
Right.
So he also stated that he has written a couple of letters to the Prime Minister of India.
We know, Thoya,
Mr.
this is not the
Narendra
first letter that he's written to the Prime Minister, and he also pointed out that almost about 670 Indian fishermen are languishing in Sri Lankan jails only for the same reason that you pointed out yourself. They crossed that maritime border because the game is much better, the hybrid fishes is much better, it's much better for their own economy as well. But I think that's what MK Stalin is trying to point out as well. But this issue is certainly going to be politicized, needless to say, with the upcoming Tamil Nadu Assembly elections as well. Many thanks, Thoya Jakshi, for bringing us the latest details. All right, shifting our focus here, Congress leaders Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge, the AICC president, they have now written a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi calling for the immediate restoration of full statehood to Jammu and Kashmir. In a joint letter, they described the demand as a legitimate and a constitutional aspiration of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And the letter further states that it is important to recognize that whilst there have been instances of union territories being granted statehood in the past, the case of Jammu and Kashmir is without precedent in independent India. The letter pointed out that this is the first time a full-fledged state has been downgraded to a union territory following its bifurcation. The Congress leaders reminded the Prime Minister of his repeated promises to restore statehood, including public statements made in Bhubaneswar back in May 2024 and at a rally in Srinagar in September the same year in 2024. The letter also referred to the government's assurances before the Supreme Court during hearings on Article 370, in which it pledged to reinstate statehood, quote-unquote, at the earliest and as soon as possible. In addition to demanding legislation for Jammu and Kashmir, this letter by the Congress leaders to Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged the centre to bring forward a bill to include Ladakh under the 6th schedule of the Constitution. This would be a significant step towards addressing the cultural, developmental and political aspirations of the people of Ladakh, states the letter, while safeguarding their rights, land and identity. Moving on, chilling new details that have emerged in the Pahalgam terror attack case that left 26 civilians, mostly tourists, dead in Jammu and Kashmir's Baisaran Meadows on the 22nd of April this year. A key eyewitness, now under high security, has told investigators that the gunmen fired 4 celebratory shots in the air after carrying out the mass killing. Tracked down by the NIA, J&K police and the central agencies, the witness was confronted by the terrorists minutes after the carnage. He says he was asked to recite the kalma and was let go once they recognized his local accent. He watched as the terrorists, believed to be Pakistani nationals linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, collected their belongings and fled from the scene. The NIA has already arrested 2 local men, Parvez Ahmed Jothar and Bashir Ahmed, for allegedly harboring these terrorists. And according to their interrogation, the attackers stayed at Parvez's house just the day before and was served food by his wife, and even saw details about terrorist movements, tourist movements, beg your pardon, and security routes. And these 2 terrorists and sympathizers later paid the family and instructed both the locals to be at Baisaran the very next day, a move that investigators now believe helped facilitate this entire massacre. Sources say one of the attackers may be Suleiman Shah, also accused in the killing of 7 tunnel workers last year on the Srinagar-Sonamarg route. And as the probe deepens, investigators say more arrests could follow. Chilling details coming in the NIA probe. Well, time for us to slip into a quick commercial breather here. Top developments continue on the other side. Keep it with News9.